People in Willow Lane talked a lot, but nothing traveled faster than the story of Maura Blake. Maura was the type of woman who always wanted eyes on her. She walked like every place was a stage and every person was an audience. One sunny morning, she stepped out of her little blue house with a round belly that looked way too perfect to be real. The neighbors gasped and clapped their hands to their mouths, whispering, "Oh my goodness, Maura is pregnant." Maura only smiled, as if she had been waiting forever to hear those exact words. Inside her smile, though, there was a tiny secret: she was not pregnant at all. She had only stuffed a soft foam bump under her dress. She liked how people suddenly treated her better, how they opened doors for her, carried her groceries, and asked about baby names. It made her feel important in a way she had never felt before. And every time she touched her fake bump, she told herself, just a little longer. Just keep acting. Everyone believes you. But pretending to be pregnant is a very heavy thing, heavier than any real belly could ever be. Every day she woke up worrying someone might bump into her and feel the softness. Every night she lay in bed counting all the lies she told that day. She even practiced little winces and fake kicks so people would not doubt her. Soon the whole street believed she was expecting a baby any moment, and she loved every minute of it. But lies are like balloons, bright and pretty at first, but they always pop. Maura thought she could hold hers together forever. She didn't know that the day it burst was coming much faster than she wanted. If you are new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe for more stories like this. As the months went by, Maura's lies grew right along with her fake belly. She told people she craved weird foods at midnight. She held her back and walked slowly like real pregnant women do. She even knitted baby socks she knew would never be worn. Everyone adored her. Old women stopped her to give advice. Teenagers asked to touch her belly. Neighbors brought her free meals. She felt like the entire world was hugging her with soft hands. But behind this sweet attention, something much darker was growing. Maura's boyfriend, Kyle, did not know the truth either. When Maura first told him she was pregnant, his face lit up like a lamp. He bought baby toys and painted a small room buttery yellow. He talked to the belly every night as if the child could hear him. Maura watched him and felt something sharp inside her chest. She had not expected him to be so excited. And soon the excitement turned into tension. He wanted to attend doctor visits with her. He wanted ultrasound photos. Next week, Maura always said. The doctor is busy. The machine is broken. The nurse is sick. Every excuse made the lie heavier. She was like a person trying to hold a giant secret inside a paper bag. One strong touch would rip it wide open. Kyle grew suspicious. He noticed she always cancelled appointments at the last second. He noticed she moved the bump a little when she adjusted her clothes. He stared at her longer now, like someone trying to solve a puzzle. Maura felt her palms sweat whenever he looked at her. She told herself she would end the lie soon. Maybe she would say she lost the baby. Maybe she would say she needed space. But every time she tried to plan the ending, she felt too scared to speak. So the lie kept rolling, like a snowball getting bigger and bigger, waiting for the moment it would crush her. And that moment was coming, quietly and quickly, one day at a time. The morning everything fell apart looked normal at first. Birds chirped. Cars hummed. The sun rose slow and gold. Maura woke up feeling strange, not sick, but nervous in a new way. Kyle had taken the day off because, according to Maura's timeline, she was supposed to give birth any day now. He made her breakfast in bed and said, "If anything happens today, I'm right here, okay?" Maura nodded quietly. Her stomach twisted, not because of contractions, but because she knew she couldn't keep pretending much longer. Around noon, Kyle suggested they take a walk to help the labor start. Maura didn't want to, but she also couldn't say no without making him more suspicious. So she agreed. They strolled down Willow Lane, neighbors waving and calling out, "Any day now." Mora smiled weakly. Sweat rolled down her back. With each step, her fake belly shifted a little. The foam was old now, softer, and the straps were loose. She held her stomach with both hands to keep it steady, pretending she was soothing a baby that didn't exist. Then it happened. A loud crack sounded behind them, a kid throwing a basketball too hard against the pavement. Mora flinched at the noise, and that tiny jump was enough. The fake belly slipped. Not all at once, not like a balloon popping, but like a slow slide. She felt it drop a little. She pressed her hand harder, praying it would stay. But gravity does not listen to prayers. The belly slid again, this time lower. Mora's heart slammed in her chest. She whispered, "No, no, no." Kyle turned, confused. "What's wrong?" And before she could answer, the bump fell. It rolled out from under her dress, hit the sidewalk, bounced once, and came to a sad stop at Kyle's feet. Time froze. Dogs stopped barking. Birds stopped singing. People on the street simply stared, their mouths opening like doors in a silent horror movie. Mora stood there, empty and shaking, her dress flat, her face pale. Kyle didn't speak at first. He looked down at the foam belly lying at his shoes and blinked very slowly. He picked it up with both hands like he was holding something dangerous. He turned it over, squeezed it lightly, then looked up at Mora. His voice came out soft, which somehow felt scarier than if he had shouted. "What is this?" Mora stepped back. Her legs felt weak, like noodles. She tried to speak but her mouth wouldn't obey. Kyle's face changed, confusion, anger, sadness, like storms rolling across the sky one after another. Neighbors began to gather, whispering sharply. Someone gasped loud enough to echo. Someone else said, "Oh my God." Mora wrapped her arms around herself, wishing she could disappear. Kyle asked again, louder this time, "Mora, what is this?" She finally whispered, "I'm sorry." But sorry is too small to cover months of lies. Kyle dropped the foam belly on the ground and stepped away from her. "You lied to me," he asked. "To everyone." Mora nodded, eyes burning. Kyle ran his fingers through his hair, pacing in small circles like he was trying not to explode. "Do you know what I did for this baby? What I planned? What I felt?" Mora cried, but the tears didn't fix anything. People around them pulled out phones, pretending they weren't recording when they obviously were. Mora felt like she was shrinking. Kyle stopped pacing and stared at her with a look she had never seen before, pure disappointment. "Why?" he whispered. She had no answer. She had lied for attention. For love. For the feeling of being special. But none of those reasons sounded right anymore. They felt small and ugly. Kyle shook his head and walked away without another word. Mora reached out, but he didn't look back. The neighbors parted for him like he was walking through a curtain, leaving her standing there alone, exposed, and shaking. She wanted to run home, but her legs wouldn't move. The silence around her was louder than any scream. Eventually, the crowd thinned out, but the shame stayed heavy in the air. Mora walked back to her house slowly, like someone carrying invisible weights. Every window she passed had a face peeking from behind the curtains. Every whisper felt like a slap. Her house, once warm and bright, now felt cold and hollow. She closed the door behind her and sank to the floor. For the first time since her fake pregnancy started, she let herself think about what she had done, not in quick flashes or excuses, but truly think. She had lied to people who trusted her. She had broken the heart of someone who loved her. She had built an entire world out of soft foam and weak stories, and it all fell apart in one loud moment. The cruel part was that she wasn't even surprised. Deep down, she always knew the ending would hurt. She just hoped the truth would somehow disappear before anyone saw it. But truth doesn't disappear. It waits. Days passed, and nobody came to see her. Not even Carl. The baby room he painted stayed closed like a grave. Maura tried to apologize to people on Willow Lane, but most of them shut their doors or pretended not to hear her. Some whispered behind her back. Some laughed. Some shook their heads like she was a strange, sad joke. And maybe she was. But the story didn't end with her being hated forever. Over time, the whispers slowed down. New gossip replaced old gossip. People eventually went back to their own problems. Maura learned something she should have known from the start: lies take more energy than the truth, and sooner or later, they fall apart in the ugliest way. She never pretended again, not about babies, not about anything. And sometimes, when she walked past the old foam belly sitting in her closet, she felt a sting in her chest. A reminder. A warning. A memory of the day her fake world fell off her body and hit the sidewalk for everyone to see. And that was the day Maura Blake finally learned who she really was. Don't forget to subscribe for more stories.